Tonight we start with the latest in the ongoing battle between a popular Houston restaurant and the neighbors who live nearby. Some of the neighbors, some calling this an example of gentrification and some of what we are seeing all over the country. A lot of supporters took a look at the turkey leg hut and considered them the proof that you can take a side hustle business and turn it into a huge success. But with that has come some major headaches. Some people living in the area have joined together to file a lawsuit against the business, and quickly people started choosing sides, many calling this a race issue and accusing the neighbors of trying to push a black business out of what has been a black community for decades. And now there's an alleged email sent to neighbors of the popular restaurant. They give details and instructions on how the lawsuit will work. We need a name for the organization, so feel free to suggest Greater Rosedale Protection Association, Alameda Quality of Life, the Justice Society of Tomorrow. I don't know yet, according to that email. Another portion of the email reads, the ultimate goal of this litigation is obviously for the turkey leg hut to be somewhere else and not on our corner. That cannot be the stated goal. So we also need to think of injunction relief that we can ask for. To talk about this dispute is the attorney representing the neighbors, Chris Feldman, the attorney for Turkey Leg Hut, John Zavitsano, and community activists Derek Muhammad, Gladys House, and Sadia Evangelista. We want to welcome you all to the Factor Uncensored. So, Chris, let's start with you. You represent the residents, and when I first heard about the complaint, I understood that. Obviously, there are no zoning areas here in Houston, no zoning in Houston. And so I understood you didn't want a lot of parking, a lot of noise, a lot of smoke in your neighborhood. But that email changed the game, where they said, we just want it out of this neighborhood.
So this is a perfect example of how corruption can actually divide a community. You know, I have here at least three different reports from the city of Houston where the turkey leg hut is operating out of compliance illegally. But the city has chosen to turn a blind eye, and the result is...
And is that what you're referring to as corruption?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. For whatever reason, the city has decided to turn a blind eye, and what that has done is pitted citizen against citizen, which is a real shame. As a result of the city turning a blind eye to the situation, you have a situation where you have an operation operating illegally, creating a health and safety issue for its own patrons and the neighbors. As a result of that, they are left with filing a lawsuit. And it's unfortunate it's come to this. But if we had equal enforcement of the law, like every other restaurant has in the city of Houston, you know, show me another barbecue place in the city of Houston that is allowed to operate like this, that would be a hard thing to do. You can't find that. It doesn't exist. And this has forced the citizens and the neighbors that live nearby to file this lawsuit. And they met with an attorney for the turkey leg hut back in early September. And their own attorney said they were not taking, meaning the owners of the turkey leg hut, were not taking this issue seriously. And so if you have small children being exposed to this smoke, and you have a city that is deciding not to enforce the law equally, what else are you left to do? And it's a shame.
Let's bring John into this conversation. John, when you hear that the city is corrupt for not enforcing the rules and regulations when it comes to turkey leg hut, your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not going to speak for the city. I mean, the city can speak for itself, obviously. The city has a qualified health department. The health department has, they have been out there. We are in compliance. There are no issues that we are in violation of. We have attempted to replat. We need 3 feet in order to build an internal structure that would capture all of the smoke to address the very issue that some of these neighbors have raised. They have opposed the replanting.
And that's not accurate.
They have opposed the replanting. This is not about smoke. This is about, like the email says, if you're out and you see a loud car or motorcycle, take a video. People peeing on your fence, take a video. Drunk folks staggering back, take a video. I mean,
and that's from the residents in the area who want turkey leg hut gone.
These are from the managers of the litigation fund.
But they would be residents.
These are residents.
Yes.
These are residents that have had community meetings and have said that the turkey leg hut is not a family-friendly environment.
All right.
Okay?
Derek Muhammad, let's bring you into this conversation. Is this forced gentrification in that neighborhood where black businesses have existed for a long time? Not particularly Turkey Leg Hut, because it's basically new, but trying to force them out.
This has gentrification written all over it. Turkey Leg Hut is in essence being sued for its success. It's a very successful business. Lines are around the corner half the time, and there are many who are moving into that neighborhood who would love to commandeer that block and have a business that would be as successful. They'd love to put a Starbucks there. So I do believe that gentrification is a factor, and there's a difference between a complaint and a conspiracy. Complaints are complaints, but if you read those emails, you see certain residents conspiring to put this brother and this sister out of business. The Turkey Leg Hut is a thriving black business in a historic black neighborhood. We support the Turkey Leg Hut, and I'm proud of the way the community has responded to this attack on one of our businesses.
All right, Sadia?
So, Chris, you're being very disingenuous, because just a few minutes ago we had a conversation and you wanted to distance yourself from the email, but you did not distance yourself from this email and this conspiracy. We see this clandestine organization conspiring to put this business out of the neighborhood, and specifically the ultimate goal was to get the Turkey Leg Hut off the corner by coming up with any means necessary and lying, saying that, you know, there was no peace there. This is a family-oriented business.
You would say that I'm being disingenuous.
Chris, 1 second. Let's bring Gladys into the conversation, then we're going to give you the last word.
Well, I just feel that, you know, both parties should come together and allow the business Turkey Hut to get the 3 feet that it needs, so that it can satisfy the concerns of Chris's clients. So you know, but a lot of the emails and a lot of the controversy that's stirring, a lot of that energy should be directed to just really resolving the issues.
All right, Chris, let's talk about this email really quick.
Sure.
In that email, you hear your client saying, we want it gone.
Well, first of all, that's not my client. And number two, to suggest I was being disingenuous is disingenuous in and of itself, because nobody brought up the issue of that email.
Chris.
I never had the chance in 7 minutes I never had the chance to address that when I addressed Mr. Carey. So I would appreciate no ad hominem attacks whatsoever. The people that brought this lawsuit owned their homes and lived in this area prior to the Turkey Leg Hut.
Do you want the Turkey Leg Hut? Do you want the Turkey Leg Hut gone?
No, sir.
Are you going to help the Turkey Leg Hut stay in the neighborhood?
My clients are prepared to do whatever it takes in terms of this replat issue, and that is disingenuous to suggest that they have opposed a replat, Mr. Zavitsanos. I've asked repeatedly, tell me where the issue is. Tell me where the issue is. And the issue is that your clients have not been taking this issue seriously of jeopardizing the public health, and they've ridden on the city of Houston turning a blind eye to this public issue. And this is how corruption affects communities.
All right.
It drives us apart.
John, go ahead.
May I respond to that? So I guess we've got 3 people up here being disingenuous. I mean, that's the narrative here. But let me just read from the email, okay? Because you read it very quickly. It says, the ultimate goal of this litigation is obviously for the Turkey Leg Hut to be somewhere else and not on our corner. Our corner. That they own the corner.
Do you agree with that?
Okay? This is on Alameda. This is a state highway.
Right.
It is loud. There are trucks going up and down that street, but somehow these 2 managers who are going to put these pawns in front,
2 colonizers,
to be the front for this lawsuit, this is their corner.
All right.
Their corner.
Thank you, guys. We won't resolve this here. It will take a court of law.